Lottie Savage is a nutritionist and joins us from there. Lottie, thanks so much indeed for your time. Let's just start with the general question. What are the most common food myths that we need to be aware of?
Well, I think that the most common that come up time and time again are those that really impact everyday life and what we choose to eat. So thinking that all carbs are bad is something I hear quite a lot. Assuming that all calories are equal, or that eating a healthy diet has to be expensive, or that as a vegetarian you're not going to be able to consume enough protein in your diet. There are a lot more trivial ones that you hear, such as carrots help you see in the dark, but I think the more important ones to focus on are those that are going to impact our day-to-day diet.
Yeah, and that spinach gives you muscles. My 14-year-old is trying to get me to eat more healthily. She's now, over the past year, only been eating brown rice. She won't eat any potatoes, and I love pasta, but she's only eating whole wheat pasta. So what is it about carbs that people are concerned about? I mean, I'd heard that if you're a sports person, then sure, load up on carbs, but otherwise stay away from them.
Yeah, so carbohydrates are a really important part of our diet. I think there's been a lot of bad media about carbohydrates being evil and that we must avoid them all, but it's such a large group of foods. So you've got starch, fiber, and sugars are all carbohydrates. So what's most important is to choose the right ones. So thinking about those which are high in fiber, so whole grain alternatives. So yeah, the whole grain pasta is a good choice. But if people are avoiding this group of carbohydrates completely, then it can be quite dangerous because you're missing out on a lot of fiber sources, and fiber is one of the nutrients that a lot of people are lacking in their diet.
Okay, so another one that you can bust for us or confirm for us, that processed meat is bad for the human body. And then you've got this other thing called ultra-processed food. What about just that word processed in anything you're putting on your table?
So processed meat, yes, definitely, they're not good for you. They contain carcinogenic compounds, so they do increase your risk of cancer. So they're definitely one to only be eating occasionally. In terms of processed and ultra-processed, processed food just considers food that has a mixture of ingredients. So cheese and bread are processed foods. Where the issues lie are in ultra-processed foods, and these contain additives, chemicals, colorings, things that you wouldn't add to your cooking at home. So for these, it's best not to eat too many because they're often have a lower nutrient density. They often lack fiber, and there's concerns over eating many different ultra-processed foods over the day. You're getting different additives from all these foods, and they may all be safe on their own, but having this continual build-up of additives is not so good for us. And there are also concerns about ultra-processed foods and our gut bacteria, and then decreasing the good bacteria, which is an aspect of nutrition which is really having a big focus at the moment on gut bacteria.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, Lottie, you know, if you're doing an interview with a TV news program, you're always going to get a killer question. So here's the killer question. What did you have for breakfast today?
I had banana and porridge with some nuts on top. Try and get those whole grains, mix of micronutrients, proteins, all in there in your breakfast.
Lottie, thank you so much indeed. I haven't eaten anything. It's coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Turkey, and that's the way I usually go about it. But I might have to change after speaking to you. Lottie Savage, thank you so much indeed. Take care.